Hi, everyone. I'm going to play this game that I've been practicing for many weeks, and it's going to go great.
Just tell me when the time is.
Okay. Let me get the mouse set up.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go. Alright, guys. The Forgotten Sands, back at last. This game just had its 4-year anniversary for the last time it got a speedrun world record. I have had a run in practice that was a very bad run, that was only like 45 seconds slower than world record. So, you know, I'm gonna get it any day now, as long as I keep playing, which I won't. So, here at the beginning, we're just kind of doing anything we can to get to the end of the tutorial section as quickly as possible. You forgot about this game. Well, that's an immortal sin.
Robbie, did you also forget about Elden Ring?
Yeah. Toka's friends with you on Steam, so I have insight into your life now. I'd like to know how that makes you feel.
Basically doxing, I'm sorry, Robbie.
Oh, because it's the Forgotten Sands. Yes, I get it now. I'm sorry, I am still recovering from jet lag and also have been spending all of my spare time playing Pop 2 and crying.
What's that?
Huh?
What if you use your spare time on?
Okay, eating candy, playing Pop 2 and crying.
Thank you.
Yeah, there we go.
Elden cringe.
So yeah, jumping in this game is fast. I'm going to jump a lot, and touching walls is slow, so I'm going to try to not touch walls. I pretty much covered them until we get glitches, which we don't have any yet. I have done some special bindings on my controller to make menuing very fast. I, for example, have rebound the square button, which is normally attack, to left click, which is normally attack. But left click, unlike square, allows me to do quick menuing. Almost died right there, but I didn't, so it doesn't matter. So, one of the problems with jumping being fast is that there are many things in this game that if you jump... Okay, that's interesting. There are many things in this game that if you jump near them, you will auto-lock onto them, which wastes time. Enemies are one of those things. So you'll notice that when I get near enemies, I often roll to push them out of the way rather than jumping. Lore-wise, the prince was sent here to find his brother who rules over this kingdom, so that his brother could teach him how to be a king. But he got here and the place was, you know, under siege, as is tradition. So we just saw our brother for the first time, but we couldn't get his attention because he's busy fighting a war. Now we're going to go track him down. So we have something coming up here that's kind of the first glitch of the run, but it's actually a bad one that we want to avoid. There's an upcoming section where if we move too quickly, we will actually cause a graphical bug that induces epilepsy, seizures. So, yeah, maybe look away if that's a problem for you until I say. So to avoid that, I'm going to pause briefly right here. There we go. And no seizures. No seizures today. Cool. Going to use the keyboard here to do a little bit of special movement that saved about 0.15 seconds. Time save. Here we're going to jump off of these stones early. Yeah, I fucked it up. No time save. There, if you don't completely stop moving before you press the drop down button, he will he'll drop down 2 stones instead of 1. I have no idea why. Here's our first kind of beneficial glitch, which is we can hold interesting directions on these stones to wall run in ways that don't make sense. Or I can screw it up, that can happen too. Okay, this one is... once you fail it, sometimes you can't get it, but luckily there's another instance of it here. There we go. So you can kind of wall run in 2 directions at once, which saves a little bit of time in that area if you don't screw it up. That's a fun little glitch right there that can happen, where even though you're on one of these beams that's supposed to have like kind of locked in positioning, if you approach it at the wrong angle, you end up doing like a ledge bounce off of it, and the auto aim doesn't take over. Here the game basically teaches us how buttons work. You can't even really call this a puzzle, you literally just press these 2 buttons. Now here I'm going to switch over to keyboard and mouse for a very precise skip. Hey, got it first try. Gonna have to be careful to not click with the mouse because it's not locked inside the window, which we forgot to figure out how to...
Oh, right.
Yeah, we forgot to figure out how to fix that, so... As long as I don't click anywhere, it should be fine. Don't think I'll need to do that. Now there's a fun glitch coming up here that kind of shows off how strong the auto aim in this game is. So right here I'm going to position myself and then run and jump right through the wall, just because there's a pillar on the other side. Toka has abandoned me. He's decided he can't take it anymore, and he has left. Do some sort of precise jumps right there. Not too precise, just need some timing. Get up to this area quicker. And then we'll just jump our way to the end of this room. And here I'm going to drop off of this ledge and die, which is going to get me a checkpoint that I can reset, which is a little bit faster than sliding down the curtain, just a tiny bit. Also, this game is in German, for some reason. So we're coming up on the end of the tutorial section here. Thankfully, we can get the rewind time power, which is the first thing that we can kind of heavily abuse in the game. First, we have to do a skip for the final room here. So we do a wall run right here, jump to this pillar, climb up twice, and then do some wall runs. And that skips the entire room. We just have to hit this lever that opens the exit door. It also skips one of only 3 unskippable... Okay, I've never seen the camera do that. That's interesting. It also skips one of 3 of the unskippable cutscenes in this game. So that's kind of nice. That adds some extra time save. Now, at the end of every section in this game, before you get a new power, there is a kind of corridor you have to navigate. Usually they're littered with traps. This one's just collapsing ground. So what just happened is that the prince's brother, in a desperate attempt to win this war, unleashed an ancient and evil army of demons, basically, or genie monsters. And we just met a good genie in this kind of interesting otherworldly realm. And she protected us against the evil influence of the bad genie. Sad news, our brother's not going to get to meet her, so he is going to be influenced evilly. But we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves. We just learned we can rewind time. Again! Amazing that such a thing could happen to the same man twice. What a coincidence. Hey, GMP. So here I'm just kind of positioning myself to do some jumps to get through these hallways quickly without falling on the collapsing ground. Here I'm going to run 2 circles around this enemy to get the others into a proper position so that I can do this skip without being interrupted. There we go. Now in doing this, we've skipped an important load trigger in this level, or in this room rather. So I'm going to jump to the right here to hit that load trigger. Otherwise we just cannot continue the game.
Einmal hätte ich gerne Fallen, die mich nicht für den Feind halten.
Toka realized that he missed me too much and he came back.
Sorry for taking care of your laundry as you ordered me to.
Yeah, it was my idea. It was definitely my idea.
Whatever.
So there, I killed 10 enemies to get some XP that we'll need for a skip coming up later, and then I got out of the room with a little bit of a tricky wall run. Basically, like, clipped into the wall a little bit and then was able to wall jump my way out of the room. Here, we're going to skip this puzzle by putting it in the least useful position, using a rewind boost, which lets us wall run higher. It's a nifty little glitch. And then we're going to jump off of some glitchy collision to skip having to go back down to the bottom again. And that's kind of how we avoid this room's puzzle. So we just made that... Oh. I was going to say we just made that jump without dying, which is good because sometimes that jump kills you for no reason. But I spoke too soon because sometimes that jump sends you flying in a random direction. And it did. Shoutouts to well-made games. So here is one of the other unskippable cutscenes. We cannot get around this one, unfortunately. This one pretty much just shows us that sarcophagi exist, which are the closest thing this game has to a collectible. And they give XP when you get them, so we are going to be getting several throughout the run, including this one. They give 50 XP, I believe, which at this point in the game is quite a lot. Later on that will not be an impressive number. But for right now, it is very helpful. Okay, here I'm going to grab the first 2 upgrades. Do you have a... There's your back button. Whoops. Okay. So there I grabbed 2 upgrades to do a new glitch that we haven't seen yet, which is wall clipping. Sick. I have never done a wall clip on this keyboard before. Oh, I'm clicking things. Still clicking things. Okay. Doing this run with that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, if the stream at any point dies, it's because Sam clicked something, which he shouldn't have.
Yeah, don't worry about it. It'll be fine. So yeah, basically the wall clipping has a somewhat tight timing where you have to press the ground pound button to continue the walking animation into the wall. And I did that successfully, so we walked through a door. Then I did a kind of precise wall run to skip an entire trap room. And then I did a sort of off-camera wall jump with a rewind boost to climb up to the exit of the room. And that all happened very quickly, so I kind of couldn't talk about it until after the fact. I reset the checkpoint at the beginning of this room to ensure that the trap cycles would be on a good cycle. Here I'm going to use an animation cancel to prevent myself from being staggered after I fall here, and I can jump immediately. Wait on the traps here for just a second. We have to wait it once we get over here anyway. Now in this next section, we've got another wall clip coming up, so hopefully I won't accidentally end the stream.
I mean, I could just minimize OBS.
I mean, that's fair. Just, yeah, go for it now.
Which also minimizes the chat, because the chat is a plugin for OBS.
That's fine. We'll figure it out. Just let me do this wall clip
Yeah,
first.
no, I'll figure it out. Do your thing.
Okay.
Do the speed.
Okay, that wall clip took me three whirlwind, which is not ideal, but it's better than failing it altogether.
I have chat back.
Amazing. After I did that wall clip through the door, I did a wall run and then jumped and caught the wrong side of one of the sliding curtains, and then immediately wall jumped off of that to skip the entire room. If you're noticing a trend here, it's that it's very easy to skip things in this game. The game has some clever design, but was made in way too short of amount of time by way too many people who couldn't coordinate properly, because it was a cash grab that came out alongside the Prince of Persia movie.
Sie hat recht. Die Armee wird immer stärker.
Here's a new glitch. So basically I jumped against the fence, which confused the game into thinking that I was not touching a wall, or that I was touching a wall rather at all times. And so then the next time I... Here, let me finish this fight real quick. Whoa! There we go. Okay. Now that those guys are dead. The next time I rewound next to a wall, the rewind ended and I stuck to that wall. In this case, that happened to put me somewhere I shouldn't be able to get. And yeah, then from there I jumped onto a fence and then did a wall run and made my way to glory. Sick. Okay.
Did the enemy die to the trap?
Yes, I did a jumping attack to knock them into that trap, which instantly kills them.
That's handy.
Yeah, that was a really bad fight. There, I could have done that much faster, but overall, it could have been worse too. Sometimes those enemies are really uncooperative, but if you get lucky, you can use Whirlwind to knock one of them into the trap and one of them off the ledge, and then you can just kill the other two very quickly. Here's the first boss. I'm going to reset to make sure it spawns how I want, and then stun it. And then do a full combo there with a charge attack at the end to instantly kill it. And that gave me a bunch of XP as well, which goes a long way towards getting us all the upgrades we need for the upcoming puzzle skip. Here I'm going to get wall storage again. And then we're going to use this to get to a sarcophagus rather quickly.
Oh, yeah.
Probably. Sometimes it doesn't work. Also, I moved too quickly here, so we may not have wall storage anymore. I don't remember all the things that get rid of it, to be honest. It's interesting. I honestly didn't even know that you could go too quickly there in that way.
Moment of truth coming up.
Yeah, so basically, you see the sarcophagus on the left there. We're going to try and do a wall storage drop here to not have to climb all the way down. And yes, I've lost wall storage, so we do have to climb all the way down. Only a small time loss. Should be fine. Also, the enemies tried to follow me there and walked into the spike trap, which is good because I actually do need a couple of them to die in order to have enough XP for this, under normal circumstances at least. I'm actually 12 over what I needed this time, but that's not normal. So once we get into the next room here, I'll go ahead and grab the final upgrades I need for the skip. which are health, and the only reason I need extra health is to unlock stone armor, which is important for the skip. Funny story, the way stone armor works is it makes it so that you cannot take damage, and in this game, whenever they wanted to prevent you from skipping stuff, they would put like an invisible hitbox that instantly deals like 1,000,000 damage or whatever. But it turns out stone armor just makes you take 0 damage. So we can actually just jump through those invisible hitboxes without dying.
And the upgrades of stone armor just increase their duration, or?
Yes, so we will never be upgrading it. Okay. We just need the one. And it does, the fact that we don't have much time with it does make some skips require more than one use of it. But for the most part, it'll be fine. So this is one of the biggest time saves in the entire run, what we're about to do, and that's why we've put so much energy invested into getting all the things we need to do it. So there's this very large gear puzzle out here that is immediately followed by a somewhat large fight, and we're just going to say no to all of it. So here, get into position, turn on stone armor, do a wall jump to get down here safely. And now there is weird collision down here, so that if you move in certain ways after your stone armor runs out, you just die. Sick, we got through first try. Ah. I would have kept using mouse and keyboard there normally, except for the fact that the mouse can currently break the game. Which, you know, it adds an interesting challenge to the game. It's certainly making it more enjoyable for me. But, because I got hit, the cycles here are a little sketchy. Just gonna kind of take the end a bit easier. Alright. Getting through that in less than 22 minutes is not amazing, but it's also not bad. We're gonna have a decent time so far. We've just gotten our second genie power, which is the ability to freeze water, or solidify water in time, which somehow makes it solid, but not ice.
Yeah. You just have to do the math, really. It's surprisingly simple.
Oh, okay. Well, you see, I wasn't sure if you would be able to tell me much about it, since you're a mathematician and not a physicist.
Somebody in chat said, "You are the one who is not amazing, Sam." Guess who that was?
Eraser?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I don't know what that's referring to.
No, it's probably something we said.
Yeah, probably.
10 seconds ago.
Oh, right, I need to reset checkpoint here to get energy. So there's this really, really annoying skip in this game called Prison Skip, which is RNG based. Well, it's not really RNG, we just don't understand how to manipulate it at all. So I'm going to get as much energy as possible for that so that I can keep trying it over and over again. And I have been working on a replacement skip for this, which is not random, but is so difficult that it's not working any more often than the random one. So until I find a way to make it more reliable, we're stuck with this. I have to be careful here because in this game, if you jump when you're too close to a wall, or like a doorway, the prince will kind of freak out and jump in parallel to that thing. Which can, be a problem, because if you're trying to do a precise jump, it's suddenly not precise anymore and you fail it.
Cool, you did prison skip there.
Nope.
Oh.
Don't get excited, that was
no.
the easy part. So here I have, I don't have time to talk about the fucking orb counter. Basically, I've set it up so that when I do this, I will get another energy, right there. So that I got down here with as much energy as possible. And basically I just set that up by breaking those vases. And now we pray. And you might notice I'm rewinding at what seem like kind of weird times. And that's because placebo. I've convinced myself that rewinding at these times makes it more likely to succeed. So that's what I'm doing. So you see how my position is changing when I rewind? Like, I'm going way further down on the wall. That's the opposite of what I want to happen. And we have no way of controlling which direction you go. We just kind of have to hope that it puts us in the right direction. And I might have to start over from scratch if it doesn't work this time. Oh, nope, it gave me my rewind back. Let's see if it'll do it again. Nope. So at this point, I just have to try again. I will go for prison skip one more time, and if it doesn't work this time, then we'll just do this room the other way, which is significantly slower. This is probably like the second biggest time save in the game. Or well, I guess skipping the second Ritache fight kind of beats it, but this is up there in terms of the bigger time saves that are in this run. It's definitely one of the biggest. Hey, we got there. So you can actually get that in a single rewind, which is super duper fast. And at once upon a time, I was like somehow able to rewind at the exact same frame every time, and I was getting it very consistently. Those days are long gone. Here we're going to jump around this corner and do a kind of weird wall run here, or at least I'm going to try to. I went the wrong way, but that's fine. Still saves time. Get wall storage here, and then use it to skip this entire room. Like that. Which is totally intended movement. Coming up here, we have another wall clip. This one can be a bit finicky. Hopefully I can get it in 1 or 2 tries. Here we're going to get introduced to the new summoner enemy, which, as you might expect from the name, summon things. Nope. Try again. So there's something weird about this wall with these like metal bars that makes it kind of difficult to get through, unfortunately. I don't know. I guess I should just use my... Or, well, I kind of need the third energy, unfortunately, now that I think about it, for an for the next skip. So, see if I can get through this time. That's so weird that that's not working, because it's looking really good right up until the end. I can always grab an extra energy from the summoner. Did that make it through? Nope. Okay, I'm just going to kill the summoner to get an extra energy and use 3 to get through this wall instead of 2. Really, game? Oh, my mouse isn't in the thing. God damn it, that's what was going wrong. And the Ragdoll Glitch has occurred, which I haven't seen in years. Okay. I guess... What is happening?
Stop breaking everything!
Hey, there we go. And I didn't break the vase first, so now I have to kill him again, because I'm an idiot. And I won't get an energy from the vase if I do it in that order. Oh my god, please stop. Where's my mouse? So, even though the game is currently locked at 60 FPS via DXWind, VSync is not on, and that means that the, where the hell am I going, even? There. Because VSync is not, oh my, okay, they hit me, and therefore the camera is different. This is a fucking disaster. No VSync, Ragdoll Glitch, Sam sad.
Just do it in 2. Easy.
God damn it. You know, I was like, the mouse isn't going to be a problem until I realized that I use it for aiming during these. Hey, we got through. I have chat again. Go fuck yourself, Eraser. I have chat again by accident because I had to alt-tab in and out of the game to get it to respond.
The chances of the stream ending significantly increased.
It's fine. It's gonna be fine. Okay. Now, back to the task at hand. We're going to try and set up a wall clip here, which will allow us to glitch out of this room. Hey, I did it. So one clip into that wall, we turn around, and we can wall run. So now I just have to not die before we get to the next checkpoint, which is right here. Hey, we did it. Okay. We're gonna skip some platforming here by jumping down here, which is where you go if you screw up, but if we do this right, can actually... Oh, nope, I didn't do it right. If we do this right, you can jump up to the end of this, like, area. Yeah, like that. So that about broke even instead of saving time, which is fine. This is the baths. There are 7 ways to skip this room. We're going to use the newest and fastest variant, which is to trigger the fight, which this is the only version where you trigger the fight. And then we're going to line up with the wall texture here and do wall jumps. And in theory, if I did it right, we'll go to the good place. Like that.
How new is new?
Good question. No one's touched this game in years. Probably like 3 years old. But it has never been in a world record or anyone's PB, I don't think. So, relatively new.
I mean, if it's the fastest, why has it not been used there?
Just because nobody's been running the game.
Oh, okay.
I have always intended to come back to this game, but I keep not doing it, and everyone else has given up. Oh, is it in NMG? I guess that makes sense. It doesn't use any glitches, technically. Smath has done some NMG stuff, that's fair. No one has touched any percent in a long time, though. Okay, here we're gonna set up wall storage. Use stone armor to walk on one of these hitboxes that's supposed to kill you. Screw up really badly. That's an important step. Now, this is the instance I mentioned where we have to use stone armor more than once because I have to walk on this hitbox as well. And then we do a wall run and get out of here. Great. Gonna reset checkpoint here since I'm out of energy. Because we're going to need it for an upcoming wall clip, assuming I can do it without breaking the entire game again. At least there are no enemies during this one. Makes it a little less stressful. Get full up on energy here, get some XP from that sarcophagus. Then we'll get into position. Alright, cool. Didn't have to use the mouse that time, which helped significantly. So that's the evil genie, by the way. This is our first time seeing him because we've been skipping so many things. It's Ritache. He's kind of a dick, and he's trying to take over the world with sand monsters, like you do. It's kind of a recurring theme in this video game series. But we got places to be, so we're just going to ignore him for now. If you haven't noticed, when we kill enemies, we get XP, and that's actually, like, funnily enough, not a game mechanic necessarily, as it's actually like a point in the lore. Like, the prince openly acknowledges in cutscenes that he's getting stronger by absorbing the sand monsters, and his brother is too. But as I said before, the good genie, Razia, has given us kind of a blessing that protects us from the evil influence of the sand monsters. Our brother, not so lucky. So the stronger he gets, the more evil he gets too. And that's going to become a problem.
Sounds like he's not trying hard enough.
I kind of relate to his plight, Sometimes people put me in a position of power, and I think to myself, I could just horribly abuse this,
Nein, war ich nicht. Ich war sicher die Sandarmee.
You get it, right? You relate? Toka?
Sam, I am a light worker,
Oh, sure, yeah. Whatever that means. Oh, by the way, I haven't said, this is the observatory. It's the worst part of the game because we can't skip it.
Sounds like you're not trying hard enough.
You have no idea how hard I've tried. We have almost a skip, but we just can't find any way to make the end of it work. What, Prince? Could you not? It's fine, I didn't need rewinds for the rest of this anyway. So yeah, basically this is just a whole bunch of stupid platforming. I forgot where I'm supposed to go. And we just do the stupid platforming until the heat death of the universe. There's a fun glitch here where you get a really ridiculously big jump, but if I do it, I'll die, and I don't have any rewinds because I used them all, so you don't get to see the fun thing. You don't deserve it.
Irgendwie
36 minutes.
dass das Gelände
It's going downhill.
gebaut wurde.
I was able to tell, yeah.
Yeah, it might have something to do with the whole mouse not being inside the window thing, Might have screwed me over a couple times.
I mean, at least you're well prepared to run Pop 2 later on.
I mean, on the bright side, all of the bad things that are happening in this game aren't my fault, really. So, I can feel good about that. Pop 2, on the other hand, is going to be exclusively my fault. There we go. So we're supposed to freeze water, which freezes the observatory mechanism. And that allows us to jump on the platforms and things.
I think you missed your ride there.
But thankfully, we can break physics and stand sideways. So we're going to do that instead. Eraser, I just want you to know we thought about coming to see you. And I said, no, we probably shouldn't. I have North American germs, and, he's probably in an immune-compromised state right now. We could end up killing him. I'm starting to regret that we didn't come to see you. Barely saved that from being really bad. So coming up is the second boss. We used to instantly kill this guy with the ice power, but in this route we don't have ice yet, so we have to get a little more creative with our kill. Unlike the first boss, this one can only be damaged by charge attacks, which are significantly slower than regular attacks. So what we're going to do, in theory, is stun him, do a bunch of normal attacks on a different enemy to build up our combo. I said in theory for a reason. And then we're going to do a super big charge attack like that to kill him instantly instead. It's a very neat strat found by Veneve, Vinny Boy. I'm a big fan of it. So now we're coming up on our first fight with Ritache. After our brother is trying to absorb Ritache because, like I said, he's getting full evil and he wants to become a demigod. Relatable. And he's gonna bitch smack our brother through a window, which pisses us off. But instead of doing anything about it, I'm just gonna clip through the wall and leave.
It's one way to deal with your problems. Maybe not the way, but it's a way.
Yeah, did a precise setup there to skip a bunch of climbing, and then I did a glitch we call a Vanish Boost, where if you make the pillar turn back into water as you're about to touch it, you just fly through the air for some reason. Good thing about this wall clip is this wall is made out of tissue paper, and I can clip through it, in theory, without using the keyboard, but I have no idea how none of those made it through. So maybe maybe I just shouldn't say anything. Hey, it only took fucking 8 energy. What the hell? Yep. I'm not allowed to have nice things. Okay, time for power number 3. The dash power. It makes us dash, which is fast, and therefore it's a good power. It has no glitches, though, which makes it a bad power. These two things balance out to make it okay.
Still throws me off that the game is in German.
Me too, man. Me too. So as you can see, this power allows us to turn into a ball of light and charge at enemies, which is a rather powerful thing, because it's not only a combat mechanic, but also a platforming one. Isn't that quaint? That's good game design right there. Got that first try because it's very easy, and it's Mathlex. Here's a one-time glitch called damage storage. If we get hit by an enemy that is still loaded and then bounce our corpse off of a death plane, it gets a really big bounce, which actually is enough to let us hit a checkpoint and skip a bunch of stuff right here. Boop. We have no idea why that works. We've also never found anywhere else where it's useful. This is basically an auto-scroller, so I'll probably die on it since I'm about to say this, but it seems like a good chance to catch up on chat. I mean, that's fair enough, Eraser. Toka and I finally saw each other again in person, and it's like basically the world's ending, so...
2 consecutive April days of snow. We're just waiting for the 2 moons in the sky, really.
Also, I had some questionable luck in terms of the things that happened to me on my way here, so... let's grab the ice power, which will make this fight go faster. And then let's reset because I did the stupid thing. Whoa, that was weird. That's like froze in midair. It's not supposed to happen. So this is the ice power, by the way. It's horribly broken. Not balanced at all. It does absurd amounts of damage to many, many enemies. Shoutouts to Eraser's immune system for donating to the cause of my happiness. So here, we're going to use all the XP we got from there to get another energy, which is going to allow us to do a very neat skip here, as long as I don't screw it up. We're going to get wall storage, and then we're going to get some more energy, and then we're going to set up for a wall clip. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we'll go at 59. That should definitely be safe enough. Yeah, so here we have to wait 10 seconds. If you float on a death plane like this with, or a ceiling rather, with wall storage, you will retain your ability to rewind, which then allows you to end up standing on the ceiling. Then we clip out, turn around, fall through the half-solid floor, and boom, we've skipped a whole bunch of stuff. And I'm sure everything I said made perfect sense. And then I hit my head and now I have brain damage. Twice. It's a good, oh, apparently I still have wall storage. That's interesting. So yeah, when you have wall storage, you cannot stop rewinding, even if you would like to. So that's fun. Get rid of it real quick while we wait on this to come back around. Went too soon. Oh well, there's a checkpoint right here, so we're fine. So yeah, Eraser, funnily enough, you're the only person who's ever told me about this arranged marriage, and the man you told me came up with the idea, who's sitting right next to me, says he's never heard about it. So I am honestly a little confused.
Well, I mean, to be fair, my brain is known to be a colander, so I might have said something in that direction. So
There's been some fantastic cultural exchange since I got here of common phrases. Colander brain has been known about for years, but there's cable salad apparently.
yes, just describes if you have a bunch of tangled up cables.
Because we needed a special phrase for that, apparently.
Ich muss mal liegen.
It's German, bro. Come on.
So coming up here, we have a really questionable wall clip where we stand outside of the wall. We can only stand there for about 2 seconds before we die. So during those 2 seconds, I have to do a jump in a very specific direction to get back in bounds at the end of the area we're trying to skip. So we're going to set up the clip here. Oh, hey, I got it blindly with analog stick. That was not likely to work, and it wasn't skill-based, it was luck. So, shoutouts to the game, I guess.
Hey, I remember doing that skip. Or some version of that skip.
Congratulations.
7 years ago.
Oh, you mean that time that you got world record for like 12 hours?
Exactly.
Wo ist er hin?
And then you avenged me by annihilating fingers. So
That's true.
I appreciate it.
I think Fingers avenged you by annihilating Fingers when he when he tried to run this at marathons, and every time the game said no.
Right, yeah.
Here's a neat little skip. There's actually a platform just off camera that skips this entire area. Very nifty. The skip for that used to be insanely complicated and use wall storage, and now it's literally just standing against the wall.
Jumped from A to B.
Yeah. I remember one time during a marathon, Fingers fell off that ledge right there and fucking died. And we were like, oh, if you fall off too far to the right, you die. But no, I tested it. You don't. You don't at all. Never seen in any other games. Definitely.
I feel like that's one of these skips that has come full circle, that kind of wrapped around. Like first you have this casual area, then you do insanely complicated thing to skip it, and then we revert back to platforming.
Yeah, just jump.
Yes.
So I just did a skip where I jumped against the door frame and was able to wall run up to an area, skipping a whole lap around this room. This game has a really common and recurring theme in terms of level design of giving you a space to work in and then making you do laps around its outer edge over and over again. And that thankfully means that we can quite often, if we can get up to the top or down to the bottom quickly, we can skip all the laps, which saves a bunch of time. Yes, in terms of the schedule, immediately after this run, we will be stuffing our faces with German sweets on camera, like civilized people.
Yeah.
Also, you can get to this pillar without that little climb-up animation. I've done it 3 times in my life, and I have no idea how to do it reliably.
It's a game full of mysteries, isn't it?
Yeah, basically. By the way, I never talked about genies, even though they've been on screen for probably like 15 minutes now. I'm not even going to try and make that cycle. But genies exist exclusively to be dashed to. They have 1 HP, meaning you always kill them with your dash. And they give you 5 XP, and they're all over the place. So they actually end up giving you a very significant amount of experience throughout the game. Somehow I fucked up this skip? Excuse me? How? How is that even a thing? I guess I am 1 pixel too far to the left? Neat.
Today you learned.
Today I learned. We're coming up on another enemy that exists only to be dashed to, because I guess they thought it'd be weird if genies were just floating in the middle of the air. So they were like, well, let's add birds too. The birds act as both like points to dash to and points to dash from. So you can chain multiple birds together. And thankfully, there's a glitch involving these that allows us to do some time save, and we'll actually be seeing that here in just a minute, after I do this next fight.
By the way, I just want to say, like, genies floating just in place, weird, but birds floating in place, not going from A to B as birds do, but just waiting there, that's accurate.
Yeah, you think, like, you would think that the birds would try to attack you if you were near them or something, but no, they're literally just mindless beacons for you to dash at. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and invest in some power attack upgrade, which gives me a 1.5 damage multiplier on power attacks, which are these charged slow attacks. Makes me kill things good. At the end of this fight, we should just about have enough XP to get Ice level 2 as well, which not only makes the ice last longer, but also makes it deal considerably more damage. So here I'm going to try 360 bird glitch. I had it, but I forgot you have to jump there, you can't wall run, so that's my bad. But basically, you just hold a direction and press buttons in a very specific order. There we go. That order being jump and then dash, but you have to like delay it a little. It's a very weird kind of setup, but easy to do once you know how to do it.
Very fast door clip there, by the way.
Oh yeah, so that door doesn't have a hitbox because you're never supposed to be able to be on that platform while it's closed. It's supposed to open before you get there. But we broke the game, so can't really blame that on the game. Here we're going to get, this is our second time fighting Ritache now that he's possessed the body of our brother, and we're going to do everything in our power to just ignore him, like all our other problems. Nice. Come over here to hit a load trigger, and then auto-aim fucks me over. There we go. So yeah, that fight takes a really long time, and it has multiple phases, and we just skip all of them. We don't care about our brother, it's fine. Here we're going to skip all these traps by just climbing to the side of them, because that works. I lied.
So thinking about it, I mean, our brother doesn't really care about us either.
Well,
right?
that's because he's been influenced by evil.
No, but even before that, like, we're like, maybe you shouldn't unleash this ancient sand army because you killed everybody because you're a terrible fighter or leader. And he's like, no, it's fine. I know better than you because I'm 2 years older.
I mean, in all fairness, he does not know that, if we go back to SOT, right, the prince was definitely not someone you should take advice from until after all the trauma.
Well, yeah.
And nobody except the prince knows about the trauma.
Oh, that's fair.
So.
Yeah, see, Razor got the point. Your brother's older, so he's obviously right.
Well, I think we can interpret that he's a lot like the prince was before the trauma, so. This is his trauma, except unfortunately for him, he's not going to live to tell about it and learn from it, so... Basically what should have happened in SOT, if we're being honest. Like, chances of the retarded, spoiled rich kid, like, surviving all that, very, very slim, but, here we are. Okay, that was interesting. Smath, I hope you're watching, because I've completely forgotten how to do the optimal puzzle solution. Even though I learned how to do it on a steering wheel, it's completely left my mind, so... I'm just gonna do whatever and hope that it works.
Oh right, you did a steering wheel run at some point. I remember that.
Yeah, that was 6 months ago.
That was 3 years ago, yeah, you're right.
That was 6 months ago. You were there. You were there, actually.
What was that though?
Yeah, you were there. So yeah, we, for the longest time we did this puzzle how you're seeing me do it now-ish. And I was like, I'm pretty sure this is the fastest way to do this. And then people came along and figured out that there was actually a way to do it in only 4 moves. And then I never took the time to learn how to do it. And every time I run this game, I have to relearn how to do it, and I always forget afterwards, so... You're just gonna have to live with that.
Bro, it's just 4 moves. Like, how is that a problem?
You would think that. Until you remember that I'm an idiot. Now, here, we're going to use the wall storage I just picked up to skip sliding down these curtains. Like that. Now the prince is going to jinx us in very comedic fashion and say something in German. And then everything goes wrong. Nice. Okay, so this hallway is one of the more difficult ones to do very quickly, but I'm gonna give it my best shot here. Delay right there. Oh, fucked it up. Well, I did the hard part really well, and then I screwed up the easy part, so, you know, take that however you want to. It's kind of the story of my life, to be honest. There's a bigger storage skip there. News to me. If I ever knew about it, I forgot. Well, lore-wise, we just picked up our next genie power because she's just handing these things out like candy. Now we can use her memory to restore these ruins to what they once were, which does not explain why the remembered parts look equally ruined. But, you know, don't think about it too hard.
It's like jump all the way from the puzzle platform to the curtains.
Huh. I don't remember that existing GMP, but I'll take your word for it. And if I do actually get around to grinding out a world record in this game at some point in the next week or two, I'll make sure to look that up. So here we're going to get introduced to a new enemy type. It's like, it's kind of framed like a boss fight, but we end up fighting these guys in almost every fight moving forward, so it's not really a boss fight. These are the giants. Pretty much, once you get them to half health, you can do a quick time event to kill them very cinematically, but it's actually significantly quicker to just take their health down while they're kneeling instead. I also killed that guy while I had no ice active, which gave me 2 extra energy. Enemies won't drop energy if you have a power active, but if you don't have a power active, they will. So, yeah, so you can kind of restock if you strategically time your killing blows, which is neat. Here we're going to use a rewind boost, hopefully, if I don't screw it up, to skip this entire room. There we go.
I remember doing that skip 7 years ago. It's a trip down memory lane, really.
Oh, I'm very happy I can provide that for you.
Didn't say it was good memories.
I'm just going to choose to ignore that statement. This hallway is kind of mediocre because even resetting the checkpoint, there's no cycle here where you can just go through it. You have to wait at every single trap, basically, no matter what you do. Oops. But... I screwed this up. But what it does, resetting there does give us some energy, which is going to be good in this next room where everything can go wrong. So I'm actually going to also jump over here to get some energy as well. Maybe. There we go. So here we're going to get wall storage and then try to clip out of bounds. With a single energy here. Did not work. Okay, it took 2, but it should still be fine. We have to wait 10 seconds just as before, and then rewind, and we'll be able to walk on this ceiling. I didn't look at the clock, so I'm going to end up waiting like 15 seconds just to be safe. I guess we're rewinding now. Since apparently I'm slipping off the edge of the world. Cool. So yeah, if I were to jump on this ceiling, I would end up floating again, so that's why I'm walking rather slowly. Here we hit a checkpoint out of bounds. And then we're going to just kind of make our way through these genies, picking up some XP as we go. Some pots right here. Skip that wall run. Now I'm going to break these pots to get some more energy. And now we have a big giant fight here, but we're going to do our best to use wall clipping to make it not our problem anymore. Maybe. Okay, I'm inside the door now. So now if I can get the camera behind me, maybe, if I don't die first, I can do a kind of nifty little wall run here, like that gets me on the other side of the door. And then pretty much we're just going to do the same thing here, except this time we can actually see what we're doing. Kind of get into position here. Oh. Didn't quite get the wall run. This wall run's a little bit finicky. You kind of have to hold the wall run button and then push the analog stick in a circular motion. Honestly, there we go. No idea why it works, but it does. So coming up next is the easiest skip in this entire game, which is Reservoir Skip. And I've definitely never gotten stuck on this skip or other versions of it for 10 to 15 minutes at a time in marathons.
Anyway.
You know, it's going to be fine. If I can pull it off here, there's a nifty little jump. Okay, well I got the slower version where you grab onto the ledge. You can actually just jump straight to that area, which it looks very cool when it works, but, you know. I didn't die, so we'll take it. Alright, NMG Reservoir Skip. Easy first try, let's go. Suddenly, practice pays off. Who could have guessed? Also, I forgot to get wall storage. There we go. The German pain noises are very off-putting, I think is the best word I can use. Oh, yep, that's what happens when you get hit. You just run off the ledge instead of stopping at it. Hopefully I still have wall storage. I wasn't paying too much attention, honestly. I don't know if the things I've been doing have gotten rid of it. Please go away. Well, now I have to reset because they have taken away my energy. There we go. Now, if I do have wall storage, what I can do is fall off this ledge and skip this entire slide section. Yes, perfect. So that allows us to get into this fight much quicker. Reset to get my energy back. And then, I pressed the wrong power because instead of letting my muscle memory take care of it, I consciously thought to myself, what button am I supposed to press? And I just did it there again. Incredible. Okay. I was trying to let that guy get a little closer to me before I hit him, and unfortunately I waited just a tad too long. But that's fine. Once this guy is dead, a giant will spawn. Can actually do a bunch of damage to him while he's getting out of the ground. You can see he's already almost at half health. Now if I can get this final hit off on him, he'll give us a bunch of energy, which will allow us to finish the fight rather quickly. Well, in theory. This fight is very bad about stragglers, like enemies that, yeah, you can see like they just keep pouring in from off screen. For some reason, a lot of them will stay very far away from you, and not like not run at you until a lot of the other ones that are near you have already died. Gonna reset checkpoint here. Okay, this is one of the harder wall clips in terms of how tight the timing has to be on your button presses. Hopefully I can get it first try. Yeah, we're good. So, no joke, we just picked up a new sword that gives us a 14 times damage multiplier. That is absolutely as ridiculous as it sounds, and we will cut pretty much every enemy in half in a single hit now. But basically the lore behind the sword is that it's a sword that was forged by the genies, and it's like one of the only things that can kill a genie. And Razia just embedded herself inside of our sword, and so now she can talk to us as we kill things. And it's also, she's the reason that it's going to give us so much extra damage.
Jetzt müssen wir bestimmt Malik finden.
Das wird nicht so schwer sein.
It's kind of a randomly morbid comment, but okay. Oh, by the way, I forgot to reset the checkpoint here, which is very important because it enables an upcoming glitch. We don't really know why, but it's necessary to reset the checkpoint there to confuse the checkpoint system.
Oh, right, yeah.
Because there are 2 checkpoints in each of the rooms we're about to be in, and for some reason, if you move through them in a certain way, you can get the door to disappear. You can basically make the game think that you're already at the second checkpoint when you're really only at the first. Same in that room. So, yeah, that's a thing. This also has a very fun side effect of later on there will be a checkpoint that we'll get, and if I reset to it, it will bring us all the way back here, which is very fun. Right, I forgot. If you're in the wrong spot on this swinging pole, you just won't dash to this bird, because this game is not well made. So, let's try this again. Use another 360 bird. No, we won't. Gonna try and use another 360 bird here, if I remember what buttons to press, to skip a bunch of platforming. You know, my run of this at Speedcon was gonna go so well, I was so in practice, and then Speedcon got canceled, and I just haven't played this game in like 5 days, and I've forgotten everything about it. There we go. Now, this fight does spawn, but... Nope, that's not what I wanted to happen. This fight does spawn, but if I'm kind of careful with my How? How? If I'm kind of careful with my inputs, I can clip through the door blindly. Clearly, I was not careful with my inputs. There we go. This is just, this is just practice. Just a practice run.
For next Speedcon.
Yeah, for next Speedcon.
Which you will not attend,
Which
which will be at ESA.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, okay. I didn't get through, but we can actually... There we go. We can clip through like that. So that works. Oh, God! Let's get the fuck out of here. The camera won't stop moving because it's trying to focus on the giant on the other side of the door. Hopefully that works. Hey. Okay. With all of that awfulness behind us, let us continue. 10 minutes left to beat the game? Totally gonna be fine. It's not gonna be fine.
I mean, it's actually good because then I have time to get the laundry out, so...
Oh, right. There's a 360 bird skip here. I forgot to do it. It's too late now. Estimate's ruined. I'm just gonna play as quickly as I can and not show off all the tricks. That's interesting.
Not sure why you needed the keyboard there. You're just doing casual platforming, going up stones. There was nothing finicky going on. No.
Sure. Yes, that is definitely how you're supposed to go up those stones.
Yeah. I get it. But also you're a clowny raisin. You should put on a wig, really.
I mean, you should put on a wig regardless, let's be honest. So here's the checkpoint. If I were to reset checkpoint right now, I would get sent all the way back to where those doors disappeared, which is, wouldn't it be funny if that happened in a world record attempt? This hallway has some really tight jumps to get through it without stopping. So far I'm doing a pretty good job. This is the hardest jump by far, though, and I got it, yay! It's not going to help with estimate at all, but, at least I feel good about myself. Yeah, I'll do the door clip here, why not? At least I'll try to. This door clip is actually harder than the last one we did. Oh, there we go. But it saves way less time. So under normal circumstances, it's not really worth going for unless you're really consistent with your wall clipping. But I was able to get it, so yay. Here in this room, we're gonna do a wall in here that might be too far to the left. We'll see. Oh no, we got it. Do a wall in there to skip some platforming.
In this run, as you might have noticed, auto-aim is your best friend and your worst enemy.
Yep.
At the same time.
That a more accurate summary could not be given. So yeah, we just leave that fight behind. There's literally nothing stopping us from just leaving this room. I didn't even do skips or glitches or anything. I just left. I don't know what I'm doing, but that's the wrong way.
But you have played this game before, right?
I think the panic's starting to get to me. So now with our ridiculous amounts of damage, you'll see how we just melt this giant. Oh, he's dead. And I killed him with ice for some reason, which you're not supposed to do because then you don't get energy from him, as I explained before.
He's still melting.
Yeah, he's still melting. We're gonna clip out of bounds here to hit a low trigger, and then, oh, we respawn his corpse, so we get more energy. Isn't that neat? Barely made it through, but we did. Reset checkpoint here to prevent the game from giving us RNG For some reason, if you just play this area casually, the trap pattern is random, but if you reset checkpoint, it's the same every time. And some of the RNG like trap patterns are impossible, like legitimately impossible. You cannot get through because this game.
Sorry.
This game is
Sabotage.
well made. Are you okay?
Are you?
You may have noticed that I just shaved my beard with saw blades. Don't worry about it. The fact that I took no damage is definitely intended.
Ich weiß nicht, was geschieht, wenn wir hinausgehen, aber wir werden bestimmt erwarten. Es ist leichter für euch, wenn ihr in Ritache ansieht. Das ist alles, was von ihm geblieben ist.
Well, GMP, two things. One, I changed the estimate because of how well prepared I was, thinking that just a few days of not playing this game wouldn't be that big of a deal. I also wasn't prepared for the whole mouse going outside of the window shenanigans. I probably could have made 120 if that hadn't happened. Honestly, the 20-minute estimate for Pop 2 is kind of a meme, though. There's no fucking way I'm going to beat that game in under 20 minutes. I managed to get a PB last night of like 17 minutes flat, and there's just no way I'm going to be able to reproduce that, so... Honestly, Toka put way more work into this than he had any right to, like making the ridiculous meme transitions and stuff. I honestly would have just had this be a super casual stream where we just didn't have even templates or anything, but for some reason he really wanted it to be presented well. 17 flat in-game time. I think it was like closer to an 18 in terms of RTA. It was not a good one, to be clear. It was a PB for me because it's my first, like, semi-decent run on the new route, but not a good one. Well, you know, his name is tied to this one eraser, so clearly he has to care more. Also, there's a skip here. There are ways to be consistent at it. I haven't taken the time to figure out what they are, so I just do it until it works. That's what the commentary has devolved to, is me saying, there's a skip here, I don't know how it works. Okay, here I just need one energy real quick. There we go. Now we're going to watch an unskippable cutscene and go into the final boss. Hope Toka gets back before I finish this. I assume he will, because I have no idea how to do the stream transition into the waiting screen. Eraser, I would love to explain that to you if I could figure out what TWOC stands for. Oh, the Wrath of Cortex. That's what it stands for. And I have no idea what you're referencing with the kissing. I appreciate that, Eraser, but it'll be fine. Oh, nice. Cinematic kill. That wastes time. So basically this section before the final boss consists of killing waves of enemies and then doing a small platforming section over and over again. It's not very well made in terms of game design, and from what I understand it gives a lot of people motion sickness, so... I think you guys have an interesting definition of how to eat sweets, but okay. Oh, because I said German sweets, I see. That's awfully kind of you to pretend that Toka isn't the bitterest person you know. Actually gonna reset here just for the fun of it to get one more energy. You might think the checkpoint would be at the halfway point or something, but no, we're basically at the end of this. Like we have one more fight, I think. Yep, one more fight. So after this fight, we'll reset again to get more energy and then enter into the final boss battle, which is actually kind of interesting to talk about from a mechanical perspective because there's a quick kill based on manipulating his health value. So here I'm going to charge up a combo. He's going to spawn some minions, and I'm going to kill them to get a bunch of energy and to get them out of my way. Then I will position myself and charge up another combo to take out a very specific amount of his health, which is half of it. Hopefully the enemy to the right of me doesn't cause an issue by being in the way. No, we're good. So you'll see in a single combo, I took his health to the halfway point, which means we're going to skip a very small part of phase 2. Because the phases are based on the quarters of his health. That's why they're marked that way. And then once he enters phase 3, we're going to deal 2 more hits to him, once again very specific amounts of damage, that will take him from phase 3 to dead, and we will skip all of phase 4, which is a big time save. I think it saves like over a minute on this fight, which is kind of a big deal. It's a pretty easy strategy to take care of, especially since we have stone armor. Back in the day, we used to do this without stone armor, and it was a bitch. But with stone armor, it is a relatively easy thing to do. The only thing that can really screw you up is if your auto aim gets stuck on the enemies, or if oh, apparently I'm not paying attention. That's interesting. I guess we're doing phase 4. I got too caught up in talking and thought he had only done one phase of the energy blast, but apparently he had done 2. Never mind. You don't get the quick kill. This run is cursed. That's what I have to say about this. Welcome back. I fucked it up.
That's cool. Did the stream end, or?
No, I just was talking about how the quick kill works and got so distracted by that I didn't do the quick kill.
I see. Well done. You're a fucking disappointment.
Also, it's been so long since I've not done the quick kill that I guess I didn't realize. I guess I have to kill these enemies before phase 4 will start, so there's like another 45 seconds of time loss. I hope you're all enjoying this. I hope this is the premiere content that you came here expecting. Eraser, I don't think that this run's going on the leaderboards. That may surprise you. But somehow I kind of doubt that it's going to come up in terms of relevance. There. Alright, 5 minutes overestimate. If I had gotten the quick kill and the mouse had worked properly, that would have been a 120, so I can live with it.